All right, and we're live. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Last weekend we built the JHS NOTADÜMBLÜ pedal kit, and today we'll be trying to mod it. Oh, get the music started here. So I just got this tape from, let me see if I can show it on here. Wizard Dick. Sacred Rites of the Riff. Instrumental doom metal. Sorry, I got a little bit of a late start, even later than I had anticipated. As you know, had some technical difficulties getting the stream set up and getting everything kind of set up around here. And then I realized right before I went live that I forgot to drill the holes for the mod, so I went out and did that real quick. And then the foot switch hole was too small for the mod. So I was like, oh, I need to enlarge it. I enlarged the wrong side, so now the existing side is way too big. Hopefully, since they give you these, it looks like that should cover it up. But okay, as for the mods we'll be doing here, I had mentioned in my post that I was going to be doing a couple mods, one of which I hadn't seen anyone else do yet. That's changed. I've seen a lot of people do it this last week, and that is moving the overdrive presence control right here to a pot on the front in this channel slot right here. And I've actually seen quite a few people do it now, but you know, it's not a big brain moment like, oh, I'm so smart for coming up with this. No, I knew someone was going to do it eventually, but it's a pretty simple mod to do. But I'm glad to see I wasn't the only one thinking about that there. So as for today, though, on top of that, I would like to add a foot switch. You know, usually you see some foot switch mods where they'll move this over to here. So, but if you notice there's another LED slot, what I'm going to be doing is making each channel both individually able to turn on and off. And so that way when you do that, you can actually have both of them active to get the clean boost go into the overdrive. And I got that from, I found a post online from Brandon Marcella, and that is going to be this right here. So you got the diagram up there of what I'm going to have to wire up, so I'm going to try to follow along with this. So the first thing I'm going to have to do, though, is try to get this switch off of here, and I have heard that is a massive pain to do. That's the hardest part of the whole thing, so I'm going to have to remove this and desolder it to free up the slots here. So let's get started, I guess. Oh, I didn't even turn my soldering iron on. Shows how ready I was tonight. Get this going here. How's it going, Jake? How's the audio sound on your end compared to the voice and level with the background music? Let me move this microphone real quick. There we go. I gotta get up close and personal up here. Let me move this back here. Might be a little noisy. Oh, jeez, I forgot my lights. Hold on. Let's turn them on. Alright, there's one. And there's two. Sweet. Now I can see a lot better. Wow, that... I made the mistake of, I was editing, I noticed the camera looked a little blue coming down, so I kind of warmed up the color tones a bit, and I should have done that with the lights on. Yeah, it's very, very washed. Oh, jeez. I got Cheeto fingers. Thanks, guys. Alright. Now, let's see if I can figure out how to get this thing off of here pretty good. You know, first I gotta clip off these 4 little legs right here. Actually, I wonder if I can quickly adjust. No, not that. Not that. Oh, that's changing all sorts of colors now. Oh. Alright, maybe it won't be so washed out now. I've never attempted this mod before, of course, since I've only built one of these, so things might be a little bit rough at first. I've also never had to remove one of these switches, so this will be a first time for me. The instructions state to clip off these 4 tabs to remove this shield. We're going to be destroying this switch. We don't need it anymore, so it is going to be a little rough here. Ooh, those things are tougher than I thought. But I'll mess up these clippers here. There we go. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. 4 is going to be a little tricky. Ah, there we go. All right. That part's done now. Now let's see if I can desolder this. I might want to use something to hold this a little more still here. Oh, I need to get my, I made this little, I don't have a proper exhaust fan for my soldering, so I made this little thing. I 3D printed this little pedal enclosure, 3D printed a while ago, and then using some old Bionicle pieces, I held this little mini PC fan in here and put a pedal power thing. I have a power brick over here that goes from 9 to 18 volts, and I have it set to 12 for this. Oops, didn't mean to punch the microphone there. But it might be a little noisy here and that, but hopefully the noise filter cuts it out. I'll need that for the soldering fumes. Okay, let me grab my oh, it's actually right here. Never mind. Move that off to the side. Wonder if I should have swapped out to a smaller soldering tip head. I guess we'll see how it goes. Oh, wait. Forgot what I was doing already. 1 second. Need my little Omnifixo. Thanks for that, Cody. This thing has come in handy so many times. Alright, let's see if I can start desoldering this stuff now. You know what, let me swap hands here. He must be using some unleaded solder. That stuff's taking a little bit longer to melt than I'm used to. Okay. Good. Oh. Not wanting to fully clean out here. Wish I could zoom this webcam. This webcam is not the best. I might be getting a couple new ones soon. Oops, gotta pump that. I think I've almost got it. Let me get my... Forgot to grab my desoldering braid. Alright, see if I can get any more of this stuff off of here. Yeah, you're right, Cody. I've got like, I don't know how many pairs of helping hands at this point. I even 3D printed a couple recently. Okay, I always have issue with desoldering braid just not working very good, but I seen a video a few days ago where someone had mentioned that if you're having trouble with it, instead of just keeping it on the roll, just cut off a little strip, I mean. And then, because that way the heat doesn't try dissipating throughout the entire thing, and that doesn't have as far to go, but see how well that works. This thing's a pretty big piece here. I don't have the highest hope in this working, but we'll see here. Maybe I'll luck out this time. No. I am... Nope, still not having the best luck with this. Maybe I'm just not doing it very much right. But I like using the desoldering pump so much more. But there's just a little bit left. It gets a little difficult. Let me see how it's looking on the other side here. I wonder if I can just start trying to pull it from underneath and heating up these elements here. That'll do something. I am not a fan of the unleaded solder. That stuff's always a bit more of a pain to get off of things like this. But makes sense, especially if you're going to be a company that's going to make stuff that's going to be shipped internationally. But I am just not a fan. If I can get past this switch part, then we'll be on onto the races. But from what everyone I've seen that's done this sort of thing has said, the switch is the hardest thing to do. Like removing the switch, I mean. You know what? I might try something. I've had to remove switches on my own pedals before. I've had run into the same issue, and what I've ended up doing in those cases, sometimes with success, sometimes not, is clipping them off very close, and then just putting a little extra solder inside of the holes, and then sucking the solder back out, and then it'll get the rest of the residue out. So I'm going to try that. A little hard to get to it from that angle. Let me see. Actually, you know what? It's going to be easier to clip it if I take it off for a second. This is going to be a really rough job, but whatever I got to do to get this switch out of here. God. Okay. Do not need any of these little pins anymore. Just need some clean holes. So how's you guys' nights going? That is rough looking. Uh-oh. Just scratched up the PCB a little bit. As long as I didn't break any traces, man, I really hope not. Well, I guess all these are going to go to new parts, so I guess we'll see. Man, that does not look very good, though. I must have missed what I said with it. That's what he said, but I'm sure I'll probably notice it or realize it later. Oh man, yeah. I'm wondering if I'm gonna end up getting a sunburn from that going out fishing today. I got this big sun hat that has it's like a big sun hat with two rechargeable fans in it with a solar panel on the top. So that helped quite a bit to keep my head and face covered. And then I got these cooling sleeves I slipped on, so I kept my arms covered, but my hands and my legs were still exposed, and my face, depending on if the sun hit that. So I guess I'll see tomorrow if any bad sunburn pops up. Hopefully not. I had that happen last week though, or a couple weeks ago. I was building that swinging lawn chair out there, and didn't put sunscreen on. I was out in the sun for like 2 or 3 hours putting it together. Right at noon, and the sun was directly above, and man, I looked like a lobster for a couple days. That hurt. Yeah, you gotta show me your new desk setup when you get that. How's the mill stuff do there, Jake? I think it's the end of that side of the tape there. Let's see if I can get this stuff desoldered without messing anything else up here. Flip that tape over. Wait, hold on. This might be interfering with that a little bit. There we go. That is really not wanting to clean out too well. Actually, I forgot what I usually do. Usually, that hole's good already, so put a little bit of solder back in there. Then solder really helps conduct the heat from the soldering iron a little extra, so that's why I tin it up before I do anything. So that sometimes that really helps give it a little bit of an extra boost when you're trying to do something like this. But out of all the soldering jobs that I do with pedal stuff, this is my absolute least favorite thing to do, is trying to remove some sort of through-hole switch. They are always a pain. There we go. I just had to do that on one of mine pedals, I think like a week ago, because I made the dumb mistake of, so, you know, have the regular components on one side and then the switches and pots stick up on the other side, and I had put it backwards, so I had to desolder it, and man, it was a pain. It did not want to come out of there. It was similar to this, but there was only, I think, 6 pins instead of 12. Ah, so that's why it was so hazy today at times. Forgot about that. Oh, so when you do the mill, you run it through like the computer of like, I guess that does make sense, yeah. Be a tasty lobster yourself. If this removing the switch takes any longer, there might be a part 3 stream. I guess it'd be a part 2 for the modding section, but oh, there we go. And to any soldering experts that happen to come across this stream or video in the future, yeah, I know you're probably feeling a lot of pain watching me botch this right now. I'm feeling the pain myself. This is not going like planned. Soldering. There we go. Getting pretty oxidized. Oh, hey Cody, if you get that desk setup done tonight, if you're doing any gaming at all tonight, just let me know. I should be up pretty late. Please don't tell me that's the trace wanting to come off. God, I hope not. I've had that happen before. I guess if it does, I do have a way to fix it. Oh, and the other sides are still good. Alright. God, that... Those scratches on there are starting to really stress me out. I really hope I didn't mess that up. I mean, if I did, all it is just it connects these two pins right here and here. I can just make a little bridge if that becomes an issue. Actually, you know what? I can test it right now. Get my multimeter. That way I know what kind of problems I'm going to run into. Cody, I've been, I think I started soldering when I was in my late teens, and I'm still not confident at all when it comes to soldering. Some days I'll do a good job, and other days it's just like, how do I do this? Okay, please tell me there's gonna be a signal. Yes. Okay, good. There is still a signal between those traces. I do see a little bit right here still that might be an issue, so I'm going to try to do a little piece of something right there. Actually, is that just, that's just a piece of something stuck in there still. Let me look at my graph here, or my... So the ones that I'm worried about, that's the clean LED ground. Actually, the ones that still have a piece stuck in them, it looks like. That's just a ground, and okay, so yeah, there's a couple grounds. Looks like 4 and 5 have a little bit of debris still left in them, and then 6 is having some issues with 4 and 6 actually are having some issues with the trace, looking like it wants to peel on this backside here. But since there is still a trace, or not the trace, I keep saying the trace, the solder pad keeps coming up. But there's still one on the back, so that's still salvageable. But if worse comes to worse, I can still hopefully hack something. Alright, next I should probably go ahead and remove this. That's another thing I gotta... that looks a lot simpler. Drink. Let's talk on the radio. I don't think I said anything like directly to you, Jake, when you did that. Though I don't remember. I think I was just talking about soldering and how it's like, I don't think I'll ever be fully confident no matter how much I do. There we go. Get rid of that. It's kind of like that's the way I feel with a lot of tools, especially ones that are more dangerous too. Like table saw, bandsaw. I don't think I'll ever be fully confident in those, but no matter how much I use them, things still scare me. And this tip's getting kind of old. Oh, there we go. It's a clean one. I get the other two clean like that. Almost. Little bits at a time here. Man, this really being stubborn. I was hoping to get it out in one piece to salvage it, but so we'll see here. I've had to replace these as well before. Actually, that's one of the other things I had to replace recently. Was that's actually the part that I've been waiting for my pretty much all my pedals use 10K trimmer potentiometers that I use to set the voltage bias of the transistors in my circuit. And each one uses a 10K for each transistor. And I was out of them, so I tried using a 25K or 50K, whatever I had, and it could not quite reach what I needed. It was can't remember if it was going too high or too low, but I had to rip one of those off of a board recently, and I could not get it to come off cleanly, so I had to just grab it, twist it out, and then clean the holes out. So that might come down to this as well. So I'm also debating on just swapping my tip out. Wondering if I having a fine tip might help a little bit. Give me a little extra room. Cool this down a little bit here. Even the plastic's hot on there, jeez. Okay, so give that a little bit of time to cool down, and I'll go grab a see if I got any thin tips in my drawer back here. If not, I know I have at least one that I've used previously that should still be at least usable. So give me a sec here. I'm gonna have to get some more of them. Looks like I've already gone through all my tips there. They were just empty bags. I kept an empty bag of each one to have the part number. Because for the Weller, what number are you? Weller WE 1010. This thing is great. This ready to come out yet? Let me grab it. Actually, I'm gonna grab it. No, right. Hey, Cody, I forget. Did you get me this this silicon pad here? I couldn't remember which one. I know one of you two got it for me. I just remember which one it was. Whichever one I found out recently, they are like pretty high heat resistant. I can this thing's still hot. I can set the hot bits on here while they cool. Yep, well, thank you for that, sir. Alright, now I turn this back on, let it heat up. Look how fast this will heat up here. Usually I have it set to about 700, but I want an extra 40. I might actually go to 750. Since this seems to be lead-free solder. Almost said unleaded solder, which I guess that wouldn't be entirely right. So I'm not gonna take the lead out, but man, I can't. I think Molly got this for me for Christmas. I don't remember if it was this Christmas. I think it was a couple years Christmas. That has been a massive game changer from going from the for the longest time I had just my little old Radio Shack straight plug-in one that went from 15 watts to 30 watts, and that was somewhat workable, but it still didn't quite get what I wanted. And then I had a lower end Weller adjustable one. I have that out in the garage for different things. It works pretty good, but the heat doesn't go all the way out to the tip, so it tends to cool down kind of quickly between soldering pieces, and it takes ages to heat up. But this thing has been a game changer for me. But let's see. Wait, I need to clean this off. Okay. Man, 43 minutes, actually 40 minutes, I think, so I was 3 minutes late, and I'm still removing just the second component. I haven't even started adding anything yet. Yeah, there's gonna have to be an extra part to this most likely, depending on how the wiring everything up goes. It's still not wanting to come out here, are you? I think I'm just gonna have to twist it off, then I'll clean the holes out. Hopefully this one comes off simply. Easy. I don't want to mess anything up around here. There we go. You want to mess up that resistor or capacitor right there. I do not have any I don't have any experience doing surface mount stuff. Stuff is above my skill level. we go. Get it off of there. Alright, let's see. That tape is done. Let's see what else I got here. So I've been messaging different artists that I can find that I have tapes of that I want to play. Again, it's to get their permission ahead of time of doing this. Most have gotten back to me. There's a few that haven't just yet, so I'm trying to remember which ones I have that I already have permission for ahead of time. We did the latest Wizard Dick tape. Let's do the first one. This is such a great, it's just a hilarious name, Wizard Dick. All right. I think once I am done getting this pedal modded up, I might move on to probably try to move on to building my own pedals on stream. Maybe throwing in some random other mods in between. I know I want to. I've modded my Proco Rat a while back, add different clipping options for the distortion, and I want to add different input capacitors for the bass response. So that one I might do eventually one day. That would be a simple one. That's just popping out the existing capacitor, popping in a switch, and then just adding a different some different capacitors on the different positions, which is pretty much exactly what I do with the diodes for the clipping. Oop. Come here, you bastard. There we go. This one's a little bent. All right. That's clean. I had to go in to get that one out ahead of time because I'm going to be using a... Oh, actually, let me get the NOTADÜMBLÜ box because I have my parts I'm going to need in here. I already got a couple parts put in there ahead of time. Mainly just the, actually just the potentiometer I'm going to use. Plus the extra. I'm so glad that they added an extra knob in there because that is perfect. Which I found out, I watched, if any of you have seen JHS' latest video talking about the whole Q&A of why everything with the design and why he canceled it and everything. And addressing some QC issues that have popped up. What was that? Oh, thanks, Thomas. He had mentioned that there were some issues with these knobs that they had ordered in, and they had to re-drill all of these holes right here because they all had little scraps in it from the factory. And then in some cases the knobs were, I think in my stream I had some of them that were loose in the bag, but it wasn't too bad to put in. But he added an extra knob into each one just in case there was issues with missing parts. Center turn. Not a send and return. I'm gonna be adding a doing a mod. Actually, I'm gonna bring the picture up right here. I'm going to be making each channel on separate foot switches and independent of each other. So I can turn them, but if I want to, I turn them both on and run the clean into overdrive. I found that from Brandon Margella on the there was a Facebook group made for NOTADÜMBLÜ mods. So I'm going to be using his little thing right here. But it took me a long time to get the to get the switch out. So it took me like 40 minutes to get that out. So I'm not sure if I'll get to all the mods tonight. I might have to do a part 2, but hopefully the rest of this goes smoothly. So we will see. Okay, so let's see, where do I go from here? Actually, I think first thing I should do, let me double check if this is even going to fit into here. It is not. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm going to have to drill that out a little bit bigger to make that fit. I thought about doing a send and return. I'm not quite sure yet if I will. This might be a thing where I just do, you know, a mod and then add more later on. I don't think I've seen anyone do it just yet. I know I've heard people talking about it. If I end up seeing like a good diagram of how that's done, or see if someone else do a video and I kind of research into it a little bit more, then I might feel a little more comfortable doing that. As of right now, this being a pretty unfamiliar circuit to me, I'm not the most confident with the modding. But since that person did have a good, just a decently drawn out point of what goes to where, that makes me feel a little more able to be able to do this. If it was a circuit that I'm more familiar with and had like a schematic out there, you know, like a rad or a big muff or something like that, then I'd feel a lot more confident in doing that kind of a mod there. Okay, so I need a foot switch here. Goes to Actually, I think what I'm going to do real quick is my drill is out in the garage, so I'm going to have to quickly run out there and enlarge this hole so I can fit this through there. This right, oops, keep forgetting, here. Yeah, I'll try to enlarge this real quick, so I'm going to be right back. I wish I had like a we'll be right back screen. I don't have anything like that yet, this being just my second stream, but I'll keep the music going, and I shouldn't be gone for more than just a couple minutes, so hang in tight there. Go ahead and mute my mic before I go. All right, I'm back. Oh, that would be sick. Oh, turn my soldering iron back on. I'm gonna bend these up. Definitely don't need all that length there. But I'll clip off some of this excess. I gotta remember that is back 3. Reference there. 2, 3. Gonna be backwards. Okay. Making a mental note of myself so I remember the positioning of the things here. All right. Now the wire. I think after this this tape here is done, I might switch over to some more chill stuff, some like dungeon synth or something similar to that. Which length am I gonna need for that? Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna do a fit test real quick to make sure that this switch is gonna fit all right with this board going into it. All right, perfect. I just have to make sure I cover the back of this up so it doesn't short against here. Okay. I'm gonna start off by, I got a little metal splinter in my thumb when I was out there drilling that out. It's gonna bother me all night. That should be plenty. So any of you guys see that the new trailer and sort of gameplay engine video for The Witcher 4? I am pretty excited for that game. That is looking wonderful. This Unreal Engine showed their sort of graphics show, engine showcase, I think is what they may have called it, if I remember right. Showing off some gameplay in the world of The Witcher 4, and it's looking fantastic. Okay, yellow's for 1, green is for 2, blue for 3. Just gotta remember, those numbers are reversed when it's upside down. You know, I probably should solder it on this side. There we go. Forgot I was gonna switch the other bit back on here, because that'd probably help a lot for this, but let's just give it a shot anyway and see where we're at. Oh jeez, that was loud. Apologies for your ears. There we go. Gonna change the pace a little bit here with the music. It's another one of the artists I managed to get a hold of. Like, I actually seen them live last fall. It's jeez. Hermit Knight. Like a fantasy synth slash dungeon synth, kind of more chill, laid back sound and stuff. This is their album Once. Gonna be a complete 180 from chugging doomy metal to lighthearted synth stuff. But forgot to grab a drink when I went through the kitchen. Oh well. So if you guys haven't noticed, I am not efficient whatsoever when it comes to doing this sort of thing. I get so distracted, so sidetracked. When I'm putting one of my pedals together, it should be a simple thing of just soldering the parts on, but I get so distracted and it takes so long that it'll take me hours just to solder a simple boost circuit board some nights. Oh, Jesus. I wanted to sit the way I want it to. Okay. Oh, jeez, come on. Oh, these things are bent. At the end, they don't even close together. I'll grab some other ones. It is not on there the best. It's a little too long for my liking. There we go. Try that again. Come on. There we go. Should have done this opposite direction so these wires wouldn't get in the way, but what can you do? You know what'll happen. There we go. Keep that from going down any further. Alright, I'm going to put a little heat sink over here. Or heat shrink. Alright, just to keep that covered up. Cause sometimes I have a bit difficult time when it comes to soldering a wire to a flat surface at times. This will at least help keep things covered, keep things from shorting out. There we go. Cool. Now that's good. Take another look up here. Alright, gotta do jumpers on those switches there. Pins 1, 2, 7, and 8. 1 and 2, and then 7 and 8 have jumpers to them, so. Go ahead and get that knocked out real quick. That can be a simple thing here. Let's keep little pieces, little cut-off pieces up towards the top there for little things like this at times. There we are. Oops. Just trying to shape a little cut-off piece here. Use as a bridge. Almost. Probably an overkill way to do it. I could probably just put a wire across each one, but I wanted. There we go. We're gonna do it this way when I can. There we go. That bridge is done. This time I'll shape it and then cut it. still got a little bit left in there. There we go. Now it might get a little easier. Looking to get one of those little digital microscope things. Has a little camera and a screen for doing a little electronics. That's really handy right now. I actually have, there we go. I have one of those like head strap, like magnifying lens with a light on it, but the rechargeable battery stopped holding a charge after only like a week, and the visibility, the magnifying sections, the lenses are pretty poor. So let's get a better one of those. I recovered that one hole right there. Are my headphones messing up, or is that the actual headphones? Okay. Left side of the audio started cutting out. Go ahead, double check, make sure it wasn't the cassette deck or my headphones there. Whew. Yeah, I'm actually finding it real hard to focus right now because I had a pretty long day today. We actually went out fishing. Me and my wife and my daughter went up to the lakes and had a fishing and beach day. And man, I am whooped. But it's having me taking so long for me to think. So yeah, I think I probably shouldn't be forcing me to do. Yeah, you're right. I probably shouldn't be forcing myself to keep pushing on when I can't even think how to do a basic wiring job. But at least I got myself set up for next time. I got the switch and the trim pot removed. Got the new trim pot wired up. Got the bridges done. So next step, once I do my next stream, hopefully I'll be less tired, more focused. I will just connect what wires I need to from here to here, just like shown in the picture there. There's a couple other connections I gotta do as well. And I'm gonna have to cut a trace, looks like on the input right here. I'm gonna have to end up cutting that trace once I wire everything up. And it's not shown because they didn't add another LED to it, but I'm going to add another LED on this side, so they both have an LED. This is going to be, the original hole is going to be for the overdrive side, and the new hole is for the clean side. And I'm just going to end up looking to where the existing clean channel LED is, I believe, right about here. Yep, right here. I'll just wire that into the same thing, so that way they both turn on at the same time. I think that'll work out just fine. And yeah, so next time I will, like I said, I'll add the wires, wire LED, and hopefully everything will be done. And yeah, tape just finished, so perfect timing there. It's already almost 12:30. Alright, well, I'm going to cut it for tonight. Thanks, guys, for stopping on by. Apologies that if I kind of zoned out there for a while and didn't get a whole lot done tonight. But, like I said, it's been one long, exhausting day today. So I will try again next weekend, and hopefully we'll have it finished by then and everything works out right.